Welcome back to CrossTalk. I'm Josh Weiss, and I have with me Jonathan Feldstein. And before the break, we were talking about blessing Israel and some tangible ways that people can bless Israel. And you mentioned that you yourself, in your current position, you get to travel the States and meet with different Christian organizations. And because of that, you get you get a very strong sense of encouragement as Christians who love Israel come to you and basically indicate they're with you, they stand with you, and you're able to then post that on Facebook and spread the message back to people back in Israel, and it means something.
That's right.
Right now, just as much as the ground conflict and the air conflict that takes place in Israel, there's a very real conflict in public relations. Yes. It's almost tangible. Mm-hmm. Even though it's the digital world, mm-hmm. It's very, very real. The social media conflict,
yes.
as much as it is tangible on the ground, yes. in Israel. And because of that, there's additional ways that Americans, that Christians can stand with Israel. Politics, they're off limits many times. You don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion, you don't talk about money. Those are the things that in relationships, these are like the taboos. They cause fights, they cause arguments, they cause envy, whatever it might be. Those same rules kind of play out with social media. And a lot of times people say, let's stay away from those three things just the same.
Right.
And those that cross the barrier of talking about those things many times take it too far. And so you're either on one end of the spectrum or you're not at all, which is the other end of the spectrum. We need people. And when I say we, I mean Israel. I mean the Jewish population. I mean those who love God's people. We need people to stand with Israel through social media. We need them to be posting positive comments. It doesn't have to be hateful. It doesn't have to be derogatory towards the opposition of Israel.
Absolutely.
But we need to stand with Israel. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to people in Israel when they see when they see both the negative or the positive through social outlets?
Well, the challenge is it's an issue of, the things are very black and white now, and it's an issue of truth versus non-truth. And those opposing Israel typically deal with non-truth. And that's a problem, because when you're anchored in trying to be honest and have a sense of integrity, you don't go out of bounds. That's not acceptable. What I'm finding actually when I'm traveling here is a bit of sympathy for Americans, because the media is so difficult. It's so difficult to explain. It's not an easy conflict to understand, although the current situation couldn't be more black and white. And what I am understanding is that there's a need for more information to go out. So I've been using my opportunity to speak on camera, as we are in churches and other settings one-on-one, to be able to share some of just the personal realities of things that are going on and underscore that, answer myth with truth, and repost things and retweet things and put things up that maybe someone here wouldn't necessarily have known about. The fact that Israel's in a ground operation destroying tunnels that were going to be used a month and a half from now to cause a vast cataclysmic terror attack with hundreds or thousands of terrorists coming into our communities to kill and kidnap our civilians.
Yeah, I don't know that the vast majority of our audience truly understands the significance of this current conflict. And I say current, by the time this episode airs, well, first, my hope would be that there would be a ceasefire by that point. But by the time this episode airs, the whole fabric of the way things look will be different. But what we know is Israel offered a ceasefire. Hamas is unwilling to give a ceasefire. So it's kind of like, I can stop shooting my rockets, I can stop defending myself, but if I do, you're going to continue fighting me, and there will be some bigger issues for Israel and Israel's people. Yes. So it's like hey, we're willing to stop firing.
Right.
Just stop firing on us.
Right.
All we're doing is protecting
Right.
ourselves.
Right.
That didn't happen.
Did not.
Then some of Hamas went into some tunnels that were unknown at the time, kidnapped some Israelis, and murdered them. And throughout this process, Israel then learned of these tunnels that have been being dug for years, to the point that a massive plot to infiltrate throughout Israel through these tunnels, kidnap and terrorize the people of Israel. You had indicated that the number that could be killed in this type of a onslaught would match
It could.
the death toll of September 11th, of
That's
9/11.
correct.
And because of the unwillingness to cease fire by Hamas and Israel's unwillingness to succumb to the pressures of the world to just lay down and take it,
Right.
Israel found these tunnels and now can continue, since the ceasefire hasn't happened, and destroy these tunnels to protect its people.
Yes, these tunnels have been being built for more than the last decade, and I don't know. I'm not in the army. I'm not in the government. I don't have inside sources, so I can't say how many of the tunnels we knew about or if we knew the quantity of them. But when you see the photos and how reinforced they are, this is a sophisticated operation. It's been going on for more than a decade. Something in the range of 40 tunnels have been exposed and destroyed now. I heard something on the news this morning before I came here about one of the tunnels being 2 kilometers long, and 2 kilometers is about 1.5 miles. So I'm projecting if 40 tunnels were each about an average of 1.5 miles long, we're talking about 60 miles of tunnel. Whoever's watching this now, imagine what 60 miles from their home looks like. That's the amount of infrastructure. And sadly, very sadly, that's infrastructure that was taken away from the Palestinian population in Gaza. They don't have homes. They don't have all the necessary things that the concrete was being allegedly brought in for. It's deeply troubling. And these are the facts, going back to the issue of social media and getting out truth. These are the things that we need to put out there. I saw a horrific picture of a father hanging his children on the front fence of his home so that Israeli rockets wouldn't hit his house. Now, I don't know the authenticity of that. These types of things are happening. I'm very good friends with the pastor in Bethlehem, a Christian Arab whose ministry also services the small population of Christians in Gaza. And I saw him in Jerusalem a few weeks ago, and he affirmed for me that his people in his ministry and others, are being forced to sit on the tops of buildings, women and children, so that Israel wouldn't strike. And what does Israel do? We drop leaflets. We make phone calls. We send text messages. We send warnings on public television and radio saying, get out, get out. And Hamas says, and it's funny, the haters of Israel will say, oh no, you're not doing that. You're not really doing all that. But then you listen to what Hamas is saying, and they're saying, disregard the Israelis. Like in The Wizard of Oz, pay no attention to that man behind the screen. Well, the man behind the screen is giving out a warning. It's the state of Israel, people of God. And we don't want to have more casualties than are necessary. We need to put these facts out. We need to confront the world with fact.
Yeah.